The nightmare is back. I gotta make myself a tea. By the way, did you know that we don't have kettles in Italy? I don't think I've ever seen a household back in Italy in 30 years with a kettle. It's just not a thing, possibly because tea is not a thing in Italy compared to the coffee culture. And so we usually just boil water on the cooktop or just warm it up in the microwave. But yeah, first time I saw a kettle was here in Australia. Actually, no, I think I saw them in UK and US, but because I didn't know what they were, I've never used them. How do I explain this? So today's visit was really a cold shower. No, it was really just a nice bucket challenge. It felt so unexpected. What happened today? Today we went to the children's hospital in Orthotics for yet again another brace. I think it was on the 4th of December we went to Orthopedics. So yeah, it was the 4th of December when we had the orthopedics appointment to check how her hip dysplasia was developing. And unfortunately, the hips did not improve significantly. So she needs a hip surgery. The problem is if we don't do anything, chances are she's gonna need a hip surgery in the short term. We're talking within the next 1-2 years, and then another one in a few years. So they said this could be our last resort to try and buy her some time until she gets to 6 or 7 years old. And then we do one surgery instead of 2 or more. So the background, Beatrice has had hip dysplasia, DDH, for a long time. This is actually quite a common issue for people with Kabuki syndrome. And it's very surprising how the hips, the bones, are such a big mental challenge for me and many, more than other issues that she's had so far. So very quickly, Beatrice started wearing a Pavlik harness when she was very little, possibly 3 months old. After a few months, we moved to the rhino brace that she's been having for quite many months. I reckon the issue has been with the Pavlik harness because there might be some PTSD, at least on my part. And I thought I did cope with it somehow with the rhino brace, but apparently I'm not. The problem is when she was little, around 5 months old, and she was having aspiration problems, massive reflux, and some choking episodes. There has been an episode where she was wearing the Pavlik harness, and I was about to start CPR on her because she had stopped breathing for 10-12 seconds, and I, thank God I had the training, thank God I had the first aid training from Zumba, and but I reckon that has been very hard. It was very, very difficult to handle her with that stupid Pavlik harness on, and I've even been criticized so much online, and there is a video that shows how she got explosive vomit and she was not breathing, and that was not the time that struck me the most. I've been criticized a lot. That's not how you do first aid on a baby who's joking. And I'm like, guys, technically, I know it. But first of all, you have to be there to know what you're feeling when your baby's in your arms and they're not breathing. So, second of all, she felt like a rigid doll in my arms, and it was actually legit difficult to change her position. So I do think that a part of my brain linked to that moment, the Pavlik harness. So these braces have been a massive problem for me. Some of you guys might have seen that video and might remember when we received the news that she had to wear the rhino brace. I acknowledged this trauma that I had and tried to do the lottery tickets for BB. So I was challenging myself. I was trying to take it as a game. The more hours we put her in the rhino brace, the more tickets for a lottery we're buying. And the price of the lottery is that she won't need a hip surgery. That was lovely because that's me. That's my way of dealing with things. I'm trying to find the fun of it. I'm trying to find the irony of things, the game, the playful part of solutions. But I think it's pretty clear the PTSD, the trauma is still there, pretty fresh. I actually did start some therapy for PTSD with a psychologist, but then we paused it because lots of things were happening in my life. And then the day after I told her I had the miscarriage, she left me. And so, but that's another story. Let's go back to what's happening now. On the 4th of December, they told us, look, the only chance we have to buy Beatrice some time for the hip surgery is a Swash brace. They told me, look, we're gonna call you to arrange a fitting where you go to Orthotics, and you don't come to Orthopedics, you go to Orthotics and you take the measurements, and then we're gonna have to build a Swash brace, a specific custom made for Beatrice. So I went to today's appointment thinking, okay, we're just gonna take measurements, and in the meantime, I will have the opportunity to ask them a few questions, like how long does she have to wear it for during the day? Does she have to wear it at night? Can she walk with this Swash brace? Can she sit? How do we clean it? But they went away, and they stay away quite a bit, and they came back with the actual brace. And I was like, shoot. I was trying to get ready for this mentally, but I thought it wouldn't be here today. It's really silly that I'm taking it this way. It's just that we took a video of BB walking around the hospital, so happy she even sent kisses to the corridor of the hospital. Hi, hospital! And seriously, the cutest little thing ever. Happy in her orthopedic shoes, and with this on, she can't walk. Not today, not now. It's gonna take her some time, and it's hard because she just started walking. And it's stupid because I know it. I'm now entering the experienced mom phase. It's been 2 years that I've lived this roller coaster of special needs, and I feel like an idiot because I should know it, that it is 3 steps forward, 1 step backwards, 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards. It's I should know better. So of course the walk-in milestone is there. It's just going to be a little bit delayed and affected by this thing for a little bit. I was also planning to do potty training because she was giving us the signals that she's ready. Beatrice has been potty trained for number 2 since she was 14 months old because she finds it very gross. She was giving me signals that she was ready for potty training for everything. So just going in pull-ups or even just undies and train her. So now we have to postpone that because this is already going to be a challenge. She's going to try and avoid it, just like she's been doing with a hearing aid. What really bothered me is that she looked at me with this thing on, crying, and her look was like, why are you punishing me? Do you really hate the idea that I could walk? Just let me walk. And I'm like, oh girl, I really want you to walk. I really want you to be free. I really want you to be independent. Look, there are worse things that can happen. We have lived already worst times in our lives, and I reckon that we'll bounce back from this very nicely anyway. And I'm just gonna have to pull myself together because I don't want to show her that this is a problem for me as well. I want to sell her the idea that this is a free pass for avoiding hip surgery. Possibly there is still hope that this thing can prevent her from spending all those weeks in a cast with pain and going through the recovery from a surgery, small or major. It's still a surgery. I just have to find the idea to sell it to her, because that's incredible how sometimes we say our parents know us the most, right? But actually, and I don't know if this happens to any other parent out there, the ability of my child to look right through me is incredible. You can lie to your parents and get away with that, but it's really, really hard to lie to my kid. Possibly I have to sell to myself the idea that this is a good thing. So yes, now I'm just gonna enjoy my cuppa and pull it together. We'll sell her this brace that is actually not that invasive if you look at it. So let's see it together. I will show you as well on her how it is. But basically this part goes at the back. These go right above the knees. And she can sit on this, in this, she can crawl, she can potentially walk. The idea is just that it's going to keep the hips open, just like a Rhino brace, so that potentially the head of the femur will push properly inside the socket. the socket will mature enough to be able to contain the femur, and so that there's no subluxazione. You can actually regulate it. So basically they took the measurements so that the height of this part would be right for her. We'll do our best until June. That's when we have the follow-up with orthopedics, and I'm very scared. So yeah, maybe I can even just try and sell it to her like a tiara, possibly. Oh baby, this is a tiara for your hips. I don't know. Anyway, if any of you guys has experience with a Swash brace, please let me know, because that would help me. We'll see.